There comes a time in every person's life when they must make a decision to leave behind the version of themselves that's no longer aligned with the calling on their life. And in that moment, it's not about proving anything to the world. It's not about shouting your goals to people who don't believe in you. It's about going silent, disappearing, not as a sign of defeat, but as a declaration of your transformation. If you're tired of being stuck in cycles of failure, of talking big but seeing small results, then this is your moment, because disappearing is not about running away. It's about stepping into isolation so you can return with revelation. You are not meant to remain who you've always been. You were designed to evolve, and to evolve, you must withdraw, reflect, and rebuild. Let me give you the blueprint. Here's how to disappear and transform yourself, step by step. And when you begin the journey of transformation, the very first thing you must confront is the chaos of your environment. It's the noise, the clutter, the constant pull of things and people that do nothing but drain your energy. You can't change your life when you're constantly surrounded by the same distractions that broke your focus in the first place. That's why the first real step toward disappearing and transforming yourself is to remove yourself from distractions completely and intentionally. You have to disappear from the things that keep you stagnant. You know what distractions do? They make you feel like you're moving when you're actually stuck. Scrolling endlessly through social media gives the illusion of connection, but it erodes your ability to hear your own thoughts. Hanging around the same group of people day in and day out, talking about dreams they'll never chase, traps you in a cycle of comfort that kills your potential. Every moment you give to a distraction is a moment stolen from your destiny. And if you don't learn to say no to noise, you'll never make room for clarity. There is a holy kind of power that comes from separation. It's in the silence where you finally see what's been holding you back. You begin to feel again, feel that hunger, that drive, that whisper of the life you were meant to live. But that clarity won't come when you're caught in everyone else's expectations, opinions, and problems. You must disappear, not to be dramatic, but to be deliberate. You must decide that your peace is more important than their approval. You must choose focus over familiarity. Imagine this. There was once a young woman named Amina, gifted in writing, but always distracted. She'd post poems online, dream of being an author, but she spent most of her time answering texts, attending every social gathering, and comparing herself to others on Instagram. One day, broken and exhausted from watching others succeed while she stayed stuck, she made a decision. She turned off her phone for 30 days. No social media, no meetups, no distractions, just her and the page. At first, the silence was unbearable. She felt lonely, forgotten, but slowly something shifted. Her mind quieted, her creativity returned, and for the first time in years, she finished the first draft of her book. When she re-emerged, she wasn't the same girl who disappeared. She was focused, disciplined, whole. And that book, it later became a bestseller. That's what disappearing from distractions does. It gives you back to yourself. It gives you the power to see clearly, to feel deeply, and to create freely. You don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You just need less noise. Turn it off, walk away, let them wonder where you went, because when you come back, you won't just be seen, you'll be unstoppable. Once you've removed the noise and stepped away from distractions, the silence will feel overwhelming. That silence, however, is not emptiness. It is sacred ground. This is where transformation begins, and the tool that will shape you in this hidden place is discipline. Disappearing without discipline is just isolation, but disappearing with discipline is transformation. You must withdraw into a life of structure, of repeated actions, of systems that force your old self to die and your true self to rise. This is not about doing what feels good. It's about doing what is necessary, even when it hurts. There's something painful about discipline at first. Waking up early when your body wants to sleep, practicing a skill when no one's clapping, studying when everyone else is relaxing. It can feel like punishment, but over time that pain becomes power. Because every discipline act is a seed planted in the dark. No one sees it, but it's growing. And when the season changes, you'll reap what you sowed, while others reap regret. Most people want the success, but reject the structure. They want the spotlight, but avoid the solitude. But the truth is, real transformation happens in repetition. Day after day, choice after choice. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Dapo. He was a talented singer with a dream to become a world-renowned musician, but he never seemed to get ahead. He'd perform at local bars, post videos online, but nothing really stuck. One day, after being rejected from yet another talent show, Dapo disappeared. He stopped posting, he stopped performing. People thought he had given up. But what they didn't see was what happened in private. Dapo created a daily routine. Wake up at 5 a.m., vocal training for 2 hours, write one new song a day, learn production skills in the afternoon, and practice piano at night. He did that for a year. No applause, no likes, no stage, just discipline. And when he finally emerged, his sound was different, his voice was stronger, his lyrics had depth. His first album, produced entirely by himself in his small room, went viral within weeks. Everyone was shocked, except him, because he knew what they didn't. He didn't disappear to hide, he disappeared to evolve. And discipline was the fire that shaped him. That's what you must do. You must withdraw into discipline like it's oxygen. You must get obsessed with your routine, build it, stick to it, and protect it. The world might forget you while you're grinding in the dark, but when you return, they will remember your results. Don't chase motivation. It fades. Build habits. Discipline doesn't depend on how you feel. It depends on who you've decided to become. If you can stay committed in the dark, the light will come, and when it does, you'll be ready. Not because you wished for it, but because you worked for it. Before anything around you can change, something inside you must shift. You can disconnect from distractions, you can commit to discipline, but if your mindset is still infected with doubt, fear, and old limitations, your transformation will never last. You must detox your mindset completely, because the truth is your thoughts are the architects of your life. What you believe becomes what you build, and if deep down you believe you're not enough, not worthy, or that success is for other people, then no amount of action will take you where you're meant to go. This kind of inner work is not glamorous. No one will applaud you for sitting alone and confronting your own self-sabotage. No one sees the war you fight in your thoughts at 3 a.m. when you wonder if you'll ever make it. But if you don't face those beliefs, they will quietly control your entire future. The thoughts you entertain become the stories you tell yourself, and those stories become the ceilings over your life. You tell yourself you always fail, you will find a way to fail. If you believe you're not smart enough, talented enough, or disciplined enough, you'll unconsciously act like it's true, even when it's not. You must begin to replace those lies with truth. You must speak life over yourself. You must feed your mind daily with truth that lifts you. Because the mindset you carry will either be your prison or your passport. Most people never transform, not because they lack opportunity, but because they refuse to let go of toxic thinking. You can't bring an old mindset into a new season. Let me give you an example. There was a man named Kamal, a brilliant entrepreneur with big dreams, but a small self-image. Every time he started building something, he'd sabotage it with fear. He'd think, who am I to do this? What if I fail? What will people say? He read all the books, followed all the gurus, tried every strategy, but nothing changed. Until one day, he went deep. He took a break from everything external and focused solely on reprogramming his mind. Every morning, he stood in front of the mirror and declared, I am capable, I am chosen, I am more than enough. He wrote down every lie he believed about himself and replaced it with truth. He listened to powerful messages, meditated on his identity, and rewired his inner script. Slowly but surely, the fear faded. The hesitation turned to hunger. Within 6 months, Kamal launched a business that not only succeeded, but healed people, inspired thousands, and gave him purpose. He didn't just change his life, he changed his mind, and that changed everything. You must do the same. Don't just upgrade your habits, upgrade your belief system. Speak truth over yourself until you believe it. Wash your mind daily. Detox the fear, the guilt, the shame, the small thinking, because if you can win the war in your mind, you will win in life. It all begins in. There is something sacred about building in the dark. Something powerful happens when you stop trying to be seen and start trying to become. When you disappear from the noise and distractions, and after you've begun to discipline your actions and detox your thoughts, the real work begins, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. This is where your transformation starts to take form. The world may not notice it. Your friends may not ask about it. No one may compliment your progress, but the growth is happening quietly, steadily, powerfully, because the best things are built when no one's watching. This is the phase where patience is tested. This is where you pour your heart into something and get no applause. You build the skill, perfect the craft, improve your habits, and no one claps. It's just you and the work. And that's exactly how it's supposed to be. Because the dark doesn't mean you're being punished. It means you're being prepared. Seeds do not grow in sunlight alone. They break open in the dirt, in the silence, in the absence of visibility, and you must become comfortable there. Many people abandon the process because they're addicted to immediate recognition. They post a few things online, they start a business, they chase a dream, and if the world doesn't validate them in a week, they quit. But real transformation doesn't work like that. You don't get rewarded for starting, you get rewarded for finishing. And finishing requires you to fall in love with building when no one notices. Let me tell you about Tolu. He was a gifted artist, sketching since he was a child. But every time he shared his work online, he was overlooked. No shares, no clients, no growth. He almost gave up. But then he made a decision: disappear. Not from his art, but from the expectation of being seen. Every day after work, he would lock himself in his room, study anatomy, master digital painting, refine his technique. He stopped chasing followers and started chasing mastery. For 1 year, he didn't post anything. He just built. He just grew quietly. Then one day, he posted a painting, a piece so excellent, so striking, it spread like wildfire. It wasn't just art anymore. It was transformation. Everyone asked, "Where have you been?" And with peace in his eyes, he said, "Becoming." That's the power of building in the dark. When you reappear, you won't need to say a word. Your work will speak. Your excellence will echo. And the people who once overlooked you won't recognize you because you didn't wait for their applause. You prepared for your assignment. So don't be afraid to be hidden. Don't rush the reveal. Let the dark refine you. Let the process mold you. Fall in love with the silence because it's in that sacred stillness where your future is being built. The world doesn't need to see your process. They just need to see what you became when you finally emerge. Some of you have been too loud in the wrong season, too exposed while you're still under construction. But today is your wake-up call. It's time to disappear, not to run, but to rise, to separate so you can elevate, to go silent so you can come back stronger. The world may not recognize you right now, but let them laugh, let them overlook you. You are disappearing to transform. You are disappearing to dominate. You are disappearing so that one day your reintroduction will shock them all. Don't fear the silence. Don't resist the hiding. That's where greatness is born. Disappear and return unrecognizable.